Hello guys, it's here. So today we are playing with Abyss. I do Abyss since last league is a strong mechanic, but they have a very weird caveat where you were going to need custom mastery, which I think is a bit stupid because I don't know, the caveat is just stupid. And I say need because there is a lot of Abyss Hoard that you need to open. If you do not have custom mastery, you have to manually click all the Hoard, and that's a lot of click. So need is a strong word, but do note that there's a lot of clicking if you do not have custom mastery. Now I will have two setup. The first one is with risk, and the second one is without risk. So let's get into all the setup. The first one is the map. I'm using T16.5 and I'm doing it at Dune, and I'm looking for more currency. The scarab and maps, if you can have it, that's good, but it's not really necessary, but you really want the more currency. And for the quantity, just get as much quantity as you can. Try to look for 6 mod, like 120 plus quantity is good. And for the scarabs, for the scarab of risk, the scarab setup is pretty simple. I will use one abyss scarab of edifice and 4 scarab of risk. Now, because we are using 4 scarab of risk, you will need to be able to do all mods, and because there's a lot of mod from the scarab of risk, it will be pretty hard to do. Although the difficulty is probably below blind. And for the non-risk setup, I'm using 1 scarab of edifice, 2 abyss scarab of multitude, 1 horn scarab of nemesis, and 1 scarab of whips. And for the atlas tree, both of them use the same atlas tree. This is the atlas that they're going to look like. We focus on the abyss and all the effect of modifier. Also, we are focusing more on the scarab platinum maps. You can take away some of the scarabs node if you don't like it, and you can put it on maps. Maps is still a pretty good currency. And because I'm doing not Dune, Fortress map have a decent price. So if you want to change some of the scarab into the maps, that's an option that you can go for. And for the map device, we're going to use Abyss. And some of you probably going to ask why I'm not using Abyss Scarab to get more Abyss. The thing about Abyss is, this been like this for quite a while. If you put too many abyss into the map, not all of them will show. Like most of the time you will see on the map, you only have like 3 to 4 abyss. And even if you put abyss scarab, you're probably still going to get the same amount of abyss. So basically, even if you put in 2 abyss scarabs, most of the time you will not see the 2 extra abyss. So that's the reason why I'm not putting abyss scarab there. And even with this, even with just a map device, and we have a chance to spawn abyss on the other tree, sometimes you're only going to get 2 because I don't know. That's a bug with Abyss. There's been a bug with Abyss for like a while, and I don't think GGG fixed it yet. So, and for the result, this is the result that I see. There's not that much variant. You do not get a lot of map. You do not get a lot of bubblegum currency, except for like iterations and chisel. But you do get a lot of chaos orb. You do get a lot of divine, and you do get a lot of like Faldo and all that stuff. So the loot itself, the variety is more compact than light. And if you see the breakdown, we get quite a lot of scarabs. Not a lot, but it's a decent amount. And we also get like 13 fortress on the risk scarab, and we get 15 fortress for the non-risk scarabs. This is, I think, just a matter of chance. It's just luck, because we're not investing on map at all. And for the Faldo, we got 8 here, we got 15 here, and we also get more key on the risk. I mean, at this point, we should be expecting that the risk will have more currency and more profitable. But the major part about risk and non-risk is the card. On the risk setup, with 4 risks, you get a lot of quantity, and that gives you a lot of definition card. And this is basically the major difference on the risk. I mean, other than the currency gain. I mean, the currency, the risk is still going to give you more currency. Like the defined amount is the same, but if you can see like the total amount of like T0 currency, the risk have more T0 currency. It's just on this one, we get lucky that a lot of the T0 currency is on divine. We only get 8 null here. The chaos op is also a little bit less, right? It's just more, and this is probably more reliable metrics. Like this one is only 680, and this one have 900 chaos. And this apply basically to the rest of the currency. Like we just get less currency without scrap of risk. But of course, if your build cannot do all mods, you cannot do scrap of risk. So that's the reason why I'm including setup that do not use scrap of risk at all. So for the profit, for the scarab of risk, we are at 30 divine per hours. These 3 divine per maps, which is I think is really, really good. And for the non-scarab risk, we are at 22 divine per hour, which I think is still pretty good. The reason why the difference is 22 is because of the map time average. Because on the non-risk setup, we are scaling the abyss monster, and we are trying to get more currency from the abyss monster itself. The more monster you have, the more time you're going to need to clear out the abyss, and that's the reason why the map time is 1 minute longer than the non-risk. But it's still 22 define, so I think it's still good when 6 define per match. So if you cannot do scarab of risk, just do a non-risk setup. It's still a pretty good amount of currency. So I think that's all I have for you today. And if you guys have any question, as usual, leave it in the comment below. And thank you everyone for watching. I will see you in the next one.